Welcome back, Gallo Radio Show on the road today. We are at the Mississippi Trade Mart for MEC's Capital Day. Lots and lots of folks going to be coming by over the next 2 hours, and we start things off this morning with Scott Waller, who is president of MEC and always kind enough. I don't know if he's late for anything in his life, but he has never been even close to late for the Gallo Show. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Hey, look, that partnership we have with SuperTalk matters. I'm going to be on time.
There you go.
I promise. So.
We appreciate that. One of three annual events, right? You have the spring meetings and Hobnob, and then this, which kicks off a new year. And I guess this is probably the one I should start with. It's just on the calendar, the third that I've made it to. What is the focus today, Capital Day, as we begin a new legislative session?
So we began Capital Day several years ago, probably about 20 years ago, looking at how do we get the members of MEC to Jackson for an opportunity to visit with legislators, talk to others that are involved in the legislative process. And the decision was made to do it the first Thursday of the session, which the session starts the first Tuesday after the first Monday. I know that sounds convoluted. Last year, Capital Day was on January the 4th, so we literally had the shortest time frame between the first of the year and the start of the legislative session was last year, and then, of course, it backs all the way up to the session didn't start till Tuesday, which was the 7th. So it's just being here with Capital Day the first week of the session gives us an opportunity to really kick off the year talking about some of the MEC priorities that we want to look at, whether it's dealing with workforce development, transportation, some of our issues as it relates to health care. All those things are just an opportunity for us to get together and, as the leadership of MEC, set our priority issues, and then as the membership of MEC can be here this morning for our morning session, hear about what's going on. You'll hear from the governor. We'll hear from we'll then go to the Capitol for some briefings after our morning session, and hear from legislative leaders, Lieutenant Governor, Speaker, and others. So it's just a fun day that lets everybody kind of get connected to what's happening and kind of what's ahead over the next 3 months with the legislative process.
Briefings at 10:45 this morning at the Capitol from Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann, Speaker of the House Jason White, Dean Kirby, President Pro Tem of the Senate, and Manley Barton, President Pro Tem in the House of Representatives. So that's all coming kind of mid-morning before you move toward the afternoon.
So we start off with a morning session here at the Trade Mart, and today is really special. The governor's going to be here, and we're going to have a conversation about all the stuff's been happening. I mean, you think about the economic development that's been happening across the state.
Right.
And even yesterday he tweeted out that, hey, there's more coming, and we're going to hopefully be able to talk a little bit about, kind of what all has transpired as it relates to economic development, kind of how it's changing the face of our state and changing how people look at our state. We also are going to talk to the Superintendent of Education, Lance Evans. One of our issues at MEC that we've been trying to focus our attention on is how do we create an accountability model that really gives you a good picture of what the schools are doing well and where the improvements are needed. If you just said I'm an A school, what does that mean?
Sure. Most
people don't understand it. It's really fairly convoluted. So there's some things that Dr. Evans really has really started to put in place, and we're excited about working with him and the department to move that forward. We're going to celebrate. We're in our 75th year as an organization, so we've got a panel talking about all the things we're doing and why MEC.
Now, have you been to all 75 MEC events?
I'm not quite that old, Richard. But when you think about it, having gone to several before I came to MEC, I've been probably about 25 years now.
Okay.
I've been either coming to or been, because I'll be starting my 20th year at MEC really, really soon.
Let me ask you this. The governor and the Speaker of the House have been adamant about getting rid of the state income tax. As you have talked to your membership across the state, how important an issue is that within the business community?
When you talk to them, they understand what they're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. They question, okay, how are we going to get there, and is this the top priority today, or there's things that we need to do? And I think what we're hearing, and we heard within our leadership with our boards, is that, yes, there's an interest if it's done the right way. So I think that's what, as we go into this session, we'll be looking at what both sides, they've got different viewpoints at this point. which is not uncommon in any legislative session or any issue. So as they go through this process today, I know that the speaker really wants to put it in place so that we know that it's going to happen, even if it's long term.
And you know what? The lieutenant governor was on with me yesterday, and the speaker was on earlier this week. And I honestly think that the biggest difference is the House wants to codify it and make it law, and the lieutenant governor says, no, we're not going to lock ourselves into this. We promise we're going to do it, and we're going to continue to take the steps that we have been taking toward this complete elimination of the income tax, but we're not going to hamstring ourselves in the event that something major pops up.
So yeah, and I think that's what you'll see, and I think that's the great thing about the legislative process. You usually come out with legislation that doesn't give you everything you want, but if you get most of what you want, it's pretty good legislation.
I would agree.
That's how it works. So again, we appreciate you being here this morning. This is one of our fun events. I really think that, again, the partnership we have with y'all at SuperTalk is valuable to us. And I encourage anybody that hasn't already registered, we could still take you this morning. Come on out and be part of Capitol Day.
ms.mec?
MEC.ms.
Yeah, flip it around. That's right. MEC.ms. You can still come by and register. This is the Gallo Radio Show.